I'm so excited to welcome you to another promising video tutorial on the XAUUSD, as it was quite a profitable start to the new month, as we were able to scoop close to 800 pips on the previous analysis we did on this commodity. And for the sake of follow-up, let's run through the key moments that we had during the course of last week before we go into the details of what our expectations are for the incoming week. Now, if you look at the beginning of last week's trading session, we were able to identify a simple setup just within the $1,992 level and the $1,980, which was sitting on a very strong demand zone at the $1,970. And in fact, because of this buy pressure we are noticing above the $1,975, we were anticipating a bullish momentum in this market. And with a buy stop order placed just right above that key level at the $1,990, we had our first buy position for the week, as we saw how price action triggered our first buy position, broke out of that structure, gave us about 150 pips move before we saw this bearish move to the downside. And it was at this point we started seeing some consolidation phase. Later on that day, we had the channel figured out. We also anticipated price action should either break out of this channel or break down of the structure. But what happened was quite interesting here. We saw the breakdown of that level. That is the breakdown of the 1,980, and I think this was our first stop loss for the week. But we were lucky enough to recoup whatever we made here, as we saw our 1,985 level broken to the upside to trigger our second buy position for the week. And since that moment, we had continued to add more positions at the breakout of key structures. So on the 2nd of May, we were able to scoop over 350 pips moves on two positions. We added more positions at the breakout of the 2005. We continued to ride this move all the way into I think the day we were expecting the interest rate decision announcement, which incited another wave of bullish momentum, which we also took advantage of, had the breakout of the $2019.50 level, as you can see on your screen. We rode that move all the way to the upside. Look at what we had here. Then I think at this point we had our TP target during the FOMC, which we had about, I think, about 200 pips move in that regard. So it was quite a profitable week for us on the XAUUSD. And on the last trading day of last week, we begin to see some selling pressure after following the beyond expectation data from the NFP event that came in that day, which gave us some opportunity to sell. So this was it here. This was on Friday. We joined at the $2,045 level, and then we continued to add more positions at the breakdown of key structures, as you can see here. So if you do want to, okay, so this was it here. So on that day, we took our profits. We took about 800 pips with 3 positions running that day. So it was quite a profitable week for us on the XAUUSD. And if you do want to check these illustrations out, I will be dropping the link to this video in the comment section of this current one you are watching. And for those who are watching from my YouTube channel, you will be seeing it at the top right hand side of your screen. So with that being said here, let's dive right into the live chat, where we are going to be looking forward to or having a fresh new look of the current market structure to decipher what the majority in the market are looking forward to this week. And this is the daily time frame here, and it is quite obvious that price action has been very bullish for the last how many months is that? About 6, 7 months, 8 months thereabout. Price action has been bullish, and to further emphasize the strength of the buyers in this market, you see we have a uniform ascending channel on your screen right now, after we connected the series of higher highs and higher lows in this market since the month of September last year. And something interesting has been happening in the last couple of months in this market as price action continue to find higher high, and it has been taking quite a lot of energy for price action to acclimatize around these higher highs here. And one fact about this whole structure is that price action had remained to retest the resistant line of that ascending channel to give us a sign that sellers are really giving the buyers a whole lot of struggle to break out of that resistant line. And if you look at this whole structure critically since the month of March last year, you will see how every point in time price action tries to break out of the resistant line of that ascending channel. We have been seeing selling pressure negate this momentum. Though in the last couple of weeks now, we have seen price action find higher highs in this market, and there is a psychological expectation whenever price action find higher highs, and it always takes time for price action to acclimatize with new highs, and as a result of this, we normally see a reflection on the chart as a retracement phase, choppy situations like consolidation phases, sideways trading, and this is what has been happening in this market in the last 1 month. And with the whole situation we have here, and following the NFP data that came in very positive, we saw this bearish move to the downside, which tested the $2,000 mark, though we had a sharp rejection of that structure where buyers appear to have rejected that level. Now, the question going into the new week at this point is, will the $2,000 level serve as a platform for another wave of bullish momentum this week? That is a very important question we want to be answering during the session, and see what happened here. Last week we saw the breakout of the $2,000 mark, the third time in the last 1 month. We saw price action retest that structure. Is this going to be a situation where price will continue to find buy pressure above the structure to incite another wave that could likely break out of that high at the $2,075 level? Then the other possible scenario that we could be looking out for is price action breaking down the $2,000 mark for probably the second or third time in the last 1 month to incite a sell-off in this market, probably to test or respect the support line of the ascending channel to incite another wave of bullish momentum, or probably break down that structure to incite a further bearish move to the downside. So these are things that we are going to be looking at, and for this whole situation here, you would agree with me that the $2,000 mark at this point in time is serving as a major determinant of price action going into the new week. So we are going to be focusing on this level. So we are having a $2,000 mark as our key level for this incoming week. Now, in order to have a better perspective into what is going on here, we will need to scale down into a much more lower time frame to dissect that structure from a technical standpoint. But before we go down into the 4 hours time frame, I want us to quickly run through the economic calendar, as it's a very important that we also take into consideration the fundamental aspect of the market, as this will help us to be able to position ourselves in such a way that we can catch any potential move during the course of the week. And secondly, it helps us to have an idea of what majority of the participants in this market are looking forward to in the coming week. So on the economic calendar, I was able to pull out some couple of high impact event, which is something I always focus on. And the first high impact event is coming in on Wednesday. So what we simply do on the economic calendar, especially for the XAUUSD, is to focus on high impact events that will be affecting the US dollar. Now, the first high impact event is coming up on Wednesday, and that is the consumer price index, excluding food and energy. And this is a measure of price movements by the comparison between the retail prices of a representative shopping baskets of goods and services. Generally speaking, a high reading is seen as a positive tone for the dollar, while a low reading is seen as negative. Now, looking at the data we had here, the previous data came in at 0.4%, and we have a consensus projection of 0.3. So we are going to be looking forward to what the actual data will be on that day. Then the next high impact event isn't coming until Friday, which is the publication from the Michigan, which is the Consumer Sentiment Index, which is a survey of the personal consumer confidence in the economic activity. So it gives us a picture of whether or not consumers are willing to spend money. So as often, the high reading anticipate positivity for the USD, and while a low reading is seen as something negative. And from the previous data we have here, we have a 63.5, and there is a consensus projection of 63, which is on the lower side. So these are very high impact events that we are going to be looking forward to for this week, and obviously we shall be seeing the anticipation of this event reflect on the charts as price action. So with the information we have gathered here from the economic calendar, let's scale right into the 4 hours time frame, where I was able to identify a simple setup that I think we can use to guide our trading activity for this week. And one thing I was able to do here was to take into consideration the trading activity since the month of March, and this was what I was able to come up with. So if you look at what has been happening since the second week of the month of April, we can see here that price action appeared to have been trapped within a range just within the $2,050 mark and the 1,975 level, to give us that there is a level of indecision in this market. And coupled with the resistance and support line you can see on your screen right now is my key level sitting at the $2,000 mark, which has been a major determinant of price action in the last couple of months. So like I said on the daily time frame, the $2,000 mark is definitely going to be my yardstick for this week. And as you can see right here, we saw a situation here on Friday where as soon as price action tested the $2,000 mark, we saw buy pressure resume, though it wasn't as strong as the impulsive bearish move that brought price into that juncture. So at this point in time, our center of focus for this week is going to be around the $2,000 mark, as it now depends on how price action reacts with this level that will determine what our next line of action will be for the week. And one of the scenarios I'm looking forward to here is the situation here. If price action continues to find buy pressure above the structure in a way that price transitions into a reversal pattern in the form of a double bottom structure, head and shoulder pattern, or whatever reversal pattern you could think of, then I will be looking out for buying opportunities above the structure where they break out of the $2,050 level will give me more opportunities to add more position to my existing trade. However, if price action breaks down the $2,000 mark, then at this point we want to be considering selling the XAUUSD. But at this point in time, it will not be advisable to jump right into a sell position at that point, as we'll still need some confirmation to happen to give us that leverage and confidence to be part of a sell move. And the reason why I have said this is simply because of the fact that if you look at what has been happening here since the mid-month of April, you will see how the 1,975 area had been a very strong buying niche in this market, as sellers have found it very difficult to break through the structure. So if at any point in time during the week we cite a breakdown of the $2,000 mark, though we shall be getting ready to be part of that move, but we shall be waiting for a confirmation to give us that confidence and sign that sellers are gradually gaining momentum. And what do we want to see on this chart that will give us that leverage to sell? Personally, at this point, at the breakdown of a $2,000 mark, I will be scaling down into my lower time frame to look out for further confirmation that sellers are getting stronger at this point. and this would probably reflect on the chart as a retracement back into structure, where we start seeing signs that buyers are finding it difficult to break back above the $2,000 mark. Then at this point we want to be getting ready to sell, and if we do have a reversal pattern evolve, then we could take advantage of that opportunity and look forward to more opportunity if price action ever breaks down the 1,975 to add more position to our existing trade. So this is what I will be looking forward to going into the new week on the XAUUSD. But be rest assured that I will be with you right in the comment section as usual. After monitoring, our participants in this market will be reacting to this current structure during the early hours of the week, as I will be giving you an update on what I think will be happening right in the comment section of this video. I do hope this video has been of immense help in making your personal decision on the XAUUSD for this week, and if it truly did, please, why not support this project by clicking the like button? I'll really appreciate that you do so, and I think you can also join me on my TradingView platform at Dark Sherry, just at the top right hand side of your screen right here, so that you can be part of the daily commentaries I normally share in the comment section of all of my videos. Thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you right in the comment section on Monday morning when we shall be getting ready for the new week. Do have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye bye.